far on the pitch, the entrepreneurs have been given a task by Mahesh Bhupathi in the new media space. Having met an industry expert and a Bollywood actor, Shahana Goswami, will they be able to match wits with sports legend Mahesh Bhupathi?
Welcome back to The Pitch. I'm here with the redoubtable Mahesh Bhupathi. I like to call on the contestants. Cheers, all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
All right, good afternoon, gentlemen. We are the task force that is here to present to you our strategies for new media to take global sport into the future. This strategy is really based on three core elements. The first is underpriced assets. This is new up-and-coming talent that may not yet be recognized. Many of the strategies you'll hear about tap into user-generated content so you can identify these new areas of talent. Additionally, expanding your assets, which today is around content and celebrities, to also have assets around your actual users, the fans, the consumers, the end users, and data around them. Why? Because this will help you extract more value out of the content that you already own. The third core strategy is the price packaging. Once you have richer content and a richer portfolio, you can then price package accordingly to those users. To talk more specifically about some of those ideas, especially for music, I'll hand it over to Ankit.
There's a huge pool of untapped musical talent in the country today. Our core strategy would be to create low-cost IPRs. Everyone in the music industry is talking about singers. Let's look at lyricists, let's look at musicians. You can launch an IPR or a competition like Main Shaayar To Nahi or Wah Ustad, where thousands and millions of lyricists and musicians across the country could enter the competition. What this will do is you'll have a huge database. You can compile exclusive content into, say, an exclusive album and then sell the distribution rights of that album, or simply merchandise e-tickets of a live concert on a mobile phone or streaming on a social networking site. Our second strategy would be to create a very robust distribution channel. So our idea was to create an IP, what we call trade music. So you can actually have a platform where one can not only just download the song and own it, but actually upload it or upload its rights for resale. So for the first time, a person who's buying a song is actually getting a chance to earn from it.
You don't have the rights to it.
Yeah, but having created the low-cost IPRs, the new sensations, you could own those rights.
Gentlemen, my name is Shresh Srinivas and I handle the cinema and films vertical. If you look at what Globosport has done and done very successfully is they've taken celebrities and created IP content out of them. The most logical thing that Globosport can now do and extend into cinemas is to do the same with franchises in movies. Imagine a weekly Dawn comic. The comic character does not have to look like Amitabh Bachchan or Shah Rukh Khan. It will be Dawn, done as Dawn. Imagine an info letter on bikes under the brand name of Doom.
When you say, will they take it up, you mean they'll pay?
Yes, they will subscribe for it.
You're saying that, you come up with a weekly Dawn comic story.
Yeah.
So you produce it yourself?
Yes.
Most production houses are doing it themselves today. Eros, UTV.
You do a revenue share with the producer, and the same way you do revenue share with the celebrity, maybe a initial retainer and a revenue share eventually, the same way you will work it out with the producer who owns the brand. As a project cost, it's less than 25 lakhs. As a potential ROI, it's infinite. For now, focus on the top of the pyramid, focus on low investment, high ROI. We see a veritable gold mine in this. Of course, the question now is whether you see.
I'm Abhinav. I'm going to take you through new media in sport. If you want to target the masses in India, you need to have cricketers on board. And they will not come cheap. The other way is, first you get guys like Karun Chandok or Saina Nehwal, or use these existing 15, 16, 17-year-olds who we have, get them branding, get them sponsorship, push them through all social media channels, build their fan pages, basically show off to the world that these are the upcoming stars of the future. Once you do that, then you can sort of leverage it to get the more exciting and the more fan-following existing people into this. So the first part of the strategy is to create a larger IPR pool. If this is going to take time, what do we do now? The open platform for score updates for local tournaments. This is a very important thing that we looked at. Say I'm a college and I'm having an inter-college competition. So I'm an admin. I pay 50 rupees to Globo Sport. They'll give me access to this platform where they've created. I'll add all the mobile numbers of guys who I want, say family members or friends of people who are participating in a local tournament, whatever sport it is. And scores of that tournament can be forwarded to these numbers because SMS costs are almost negligible. Lastly, there's talent scouting, wherein you send your videos of your own skills and you practicing and then put them online based on age groups. And the guys who are best can actually, you can hold on to them and say, okay, we'll sign a contract for you, we'll sponsor you, or we'll train you, or join the Mahesh Bhupati Tennis Academy. Then there is voice blogs in sports called voice coaching, wherein you hire a coach who's not as expensive to get as a cricket player, and he gives coaching tips. Similarly in tennis, similarly in whatever. So I subscribe to the service like a voice blog, and I get coaching updates.
I am here to take global sport world actually into a global space. How? From the stars to those who are actually creating stars. People who are spiritual leaders, community leaders, political leaders. How to target through them the common man. Now, if I am not peaceful, can I get something out of it? How? Because of the strong data leverage that you had in terms of all the members that you have done, heard across, data analytics can actually form a very good part to it. You can collate data in terms of what a user actually requires. Based on that, he'll ask questions and you can get answers from community leaders. As a user asks, you can charge him 10 rupees for a video blog, or maybe 30 rupees for a specific content.
Most people follow some kind of leader, right? So when you're saying that it's my choice to send you the solution, you probably don't want to hear my solution. You want a solution from your specific leader, right?
Definitely, that is the area where the entire scope is all about. Those who are actually the followers, they can, accept anybody's advice. Those who are not the followers, who don't believe it, that is the point where you can collate the data. And the more you collate the data, more strong is your IPR and more stronger is your reach.
I'm Kunal. I'm heading the social networking vertical. Social networking specifically today runs a lot on fads, which means that whatever is popular in terms of hype. And because of that, the whole approach to leveraging social networking today is more tactical than strategic. We don't know how to make money out of it on a scalable model. So I'm going to jump into the strategies that we have. Get into strategic partnerships with existing blogs and services to tap onto the overseas client database.
Someone like Bollywood Hungama is, pretty much, all the Indian diaspora kind of go to it, right?
If you look at existing portals, like if you go to TMZ, you look at the versions that people compare for a particular celebrity in terms of what they have done, and different angles of images sharing, different video feeds. So people like multiple versions. So having an existing player actually is an advantage, not a disadvantage.
And all these models are ad-based revenues, I guess.
These are subscription-based revenues models because if you have a very captive consumer base, people who are die-hard fans, their preferences. You can actually engage in a subscription-based model.
What if your competitor is doing it for free?
Yeah.
So, okay, so that's a more of, let's say, an on-the-ground decision based on the exact service that you're rolling into. One of the things is innovation in content will give you the edge to get into a subscription-based model. New content. Brand advertising, which is more like an annuity model, which is a B2B revenue stream. And then you have transactional revenues as well. So you have three.
Which goes back to kind of owning the rights to monetizing the celebrity exclusively.
The IP that you can create for that celebrity, the IP that you create.
The only way you can create unique content for a celebrity is if you have the rights to that celeb.
There is a social networking platform called I Beat You in the Western markets. Now the whole theme behind I Beat You is to engage users to get into competitions and to compete against who has the best photos, who has the best live feeds, who has the latest news about a celebrity. It creates a huge switching cost for the consumer. Consumer will think, why will I go to somewhere else? Globo Sport Digital provides me immense spice and the richness of content.
Tomorrow when too many players will join the market, join the party, what are the entry barriers Globo Sport can create with a long-term view? So what we have figured out is, if in the foundation you have a credibility in your business model built in, that's the reason which will hold you long when competitors come in. So how do you build credibility? Recently we have seen Meter Jam has caused a great uproar in the auto guys were harassing the common public. Why can't I have a Meter Jam in brokerages, lawyers, insurance people, hospitals, doctors? Globo Sport as a platform can involve citizens as public censors. So once you include citizens, you are adding credibility to your business model. Okay, so one is citizen to citizen interface. Unless I develop incentives for a common man or for a person to join this, it's not going to scale much, right? Imagine I have moved to a new city and I'm looking for a carpenter or a dentist in my locality. With their mobile phone, can I have a voice sites of these services published by a carpenter to which I can log in and just through a mobile phone get the services of a carpenter in my neighborhood? So that will be an interesting proposition.
How will you get all this data? Carpenters have to go and,
So carpenter has a simple 800 rupees mobile phone. He calls into a particular number, adds the IVR asks him questions. Who are you? Which area do you belong to? What are the service hours you are providing? And that will be recorded in the background. So we are talking about a talking web with an audio side for a carpenter. So no PC, no internet requirement. At this point, a credible global sport platform is built. Now, how do I use it? First step is community relations. For example, we're talking about political leaders. They get to know what the people are thinking only after the election result is out. Can we provide them a more real-time information? And we have tweets about film stars and all. That's fine. But imagine we have tweets about diabetes, about high blood pressure, which are chronic diseases, and we need information all through our life when someone suffers for them, right? So what I'm saying here is, so build more and more content, more and more incentives for people to join the platform. Then I'm talking about is business relations. Now this will come as a surprise. So most CEOs are not so social. This is an interesting fact. No CEOs of Fortune magazine top 100 have social profile. Imagine a Steve Ballmer, a Steve Jobs, Laurie Ellison. They don't have a LinkedIn blog or a profile anywhere. So these are kind of people who are 20 years back kind of people.
Or they're too busy. Steve Jobs, who's...
So that's what our job is. We have to help them out with our expertise.
But that's personal preference, right? Like today when celebrity blogs, some celebs are open to blogging, some don't want to because they say that's my private time.
Actually, this I'm quoting from a research article done by KPMG. So what they've figured out is people want to do, but like you said, they don't have time. They don't think it justifies the time value. But what I'm saying is, if we provide them a channel where they can approach this blogging whole thing faster, I think they might be inclined to use it.
The question that you kept asking was, but how do you eventually was that answer addressed at any point?
Some of the ideas had legs. Let's just say that.
That's great news. Some of the ideas had legs.
Thank
you very much. That was excellent.
Thank you, Jeremy.
How can we monetize on the consumer and provide the service from the spiritual leader without the spiritual leader knowing?
You actually don't need to give back to the spiritual
How is that possible? How can somebody sell Mahesh Bhupati's backhand tip without giving money to Mahesh Bhupati?
Who is the weakest thing according to you?